Africa can never have a permanent seat in the United Nations Security Council. I repeat, Africa can never have a permanent seat in the United Nations Security Council. In case you want to know why, give this video attention. I am sure at the end of this video, you will agree with me on why they cannot. Did they even deserve it? For now, the answer is no. Are they ever going to make it in there? I don't think so. We all saw the last United Nations General Assembly that met in the United States, as they do always. And we saw how brilliantly some African leaders spoke, most especially the president of Kenya, William Ruto. He was very direct on the reason why Africa is still not among the members sitting in the Security Council of the United Nations. He laid the claim. His reasons was decisions should no longer be taken disregarding the voice and opinion of an entire 54 nation. He spoke well. He looks like he makes sense, right? But that is never going to happen, because honor, they say, is earned, is given to those that earned it. You don't beg for it, you don't buy it. You understand? Now, the United Nations has 15 members nation in the Security Council. And out of that 15, only 5 is permanent. Others are electable with a 2 years span. 2 years tenure, it expires. And of the 15 currently, only Algeria is being represented, is the African country that is currently there, and their tenure expired at the end of this 2025. So election will be done again. Maybe another African country will come in. But as for the 5 that is permanent, it shall remain so till the end of time. It is obvious. Now, who are these 5 countries that are the permanent members of the United Nations Security Council? Number 1 is China. The almighty China, right? And number 2 is France. Number 3, Russia. Number 4, the United Kingdom. And number 5, the United States. These are the only 5 countries that are permanent members in the UN Security Council. So that Africa want to have a permanent seat, which means, because what Africa is asking for is to have a permanent seat, is to be included to these 5, which is an impossible thing. It is never going to happen. First and foremost, why will it happen? Look at these countries. Look at the 5 countries that are permanent in that office. China, France, Russia, United Nations, United Kingdom, and the United States. These are countries that have survived. These are countries that have succeeded. These are countries that are independent of other nations for anything. These countries are all creditors to one African country or the other. These 5 countries are being owed by one African country or the other. Africa is a debtor to all of these 5 countries. So you, as a debtor, want to be in the same table with your creditor as equal, or what? Is Africa not asking for too much? Of course, we are asking for too much. You cannot be on that table. You can never be on that table. Based on what? What do you have to bring? This is a United Nations Security Council. Now look at the security situation in Africa. Most especially in my country, Nigeria. It's nothing to be written home about. It's a failure. It's a disaster. And you want to be among the nations that don't have insecurity issue. Now, this is a message we should all learn from this. Africa must pick up the challenge. African leaders must pick up the challenge of building Africa other than depending on this nation. You run to these people for loan every now and then. They control you. They give your countries puppet as leaders. They have seen the continent as a continent of apes and baboon, where that is being occupied by non-living things. And you expected them to exhort you to a position as high as having a seat in the Security Council. It is never going to happen. No miracle can do that. It is up to Africa to upgrade themselves. And this can only happen when Africans wake up to say we need good leaders. Not the kind of leaders you have in Uganda, not the kind of leaders you have in Cameroon, not the kind of leaders you have in Africa, in Nigeria, or in other backward African countries. They are not qualified to be on that seat. So why are we asking for it? William Ruto, the president of Kenya, acknowledged your brilliant speech, but asking for it alone is never enough and will never earn you a seat in that council. Africa must upgrade itself. Africa must come together as one, have a united force and strength. Africa must be independent. Africa have the resources. Africa is the richest continent in the world. Why are they not independent? Why do you still have to go to China? Why do you still have to go to France? Why do you have to go to Britain to have loans to survive? When the resources that made those countries are from your terrain. Africa obviously don't have leaders, and these same leaders want to have a permanent seat in the United Nations Security Council. How will it happen? It is never going to happen. So I throw this challenge to Africans, like the president of Burkina Faso is already doing. You must all join hands to build an Africa that have a strength of its own. You see, the AU that you guys currently have is rubbish. Africa must learn to build a union, an organization of their own, not the OAU, not the OAU. No, that does not work. Africa must come together, very important. But one thing I will let you know, this same West that will not allow you to have a permanent seat in that United Nations Security Council are also responsible for what you are passing through your country. They will never allow you to have that strength. Others that have attempted it, go and check how they've gone down. Sankara, Muammar Gaddafi, and the rest. They don't want you to grow. So how would you just ask to be among that seat, to have a seat in the Security Council and you just have it? It is up to Africa to take the bull by the horn. And each nation of Africa must rise to the occasion. Stop having dumb and deaf as leaders. They can never lead you anywhere. They can never lead Africa to the path of progress. And as such, we will continue to remain in the shadow of the world powers. Beside that, who were the country asking for the permanent seat in the Security Council? A country that just gained their freedom recently. You were still under their colony until barely 50, 60 years ago. So they still see you as their slave. And I can't see a situation where a slave and a slave master will share the same table. On what reason? Is it going to happen? It is never going to happen. So I don't know what you guys think about this video, but if it makes any sense to you, and if you've learned anything here, share this video and let it get to all African leaders. Everybody in position of power, do the needful and you will be respected. You don't ask for respect, you earn it. Thank you for watching this video to this extent. If you think I've made sense, on the comment section say, "Oh Dalo, you spoke well," and do well to share this video. See you again in my next video.